degrees. Bit of a struggle to get to 14 degrees, let alone 20 degrees like Barbara predicts. So, well, we will see how we go. Expect a little bit of moisture in the air. Believe me, bad weather is coming. It really, really is. So, I tell you what, we better do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, believe me, absolutely elated because I think it's third time lucky, really, just fingers crossed, that we're meeting Jason Cole coming out of Boaz, Alabama. I love the way he says that, I really do. I really do. So it's an honour and a pleasure to meet him, but first of all, I've got to welcome everybody on board, whoever is watching this morning. And believe me, we'll bring this up very, very shortly as soon as my device decides it's going to work. Yeah, it's one of those. Really is. There we go. In the meantime, Barbara's just handed me her device.
Running comments.
Having said that, if you're a first-time viewer, why not do this? Why not sub, thumb, bell? Bingo. Bell notifications when we have important people, much like Jason Cole this morning. I see the boss is watching. And Ronnie Riddle is watching as well as mysteriously two others. Those mysterious two others. Nice to have you on board. It really, really is. Now, at the same time, subscribe. Become part of the family. Believe me, you won't regret it. You really won't. Bell notifications when we have important people like Jason Cole. Subscribe. And the thummy thing. You know what to do with that, all right? Yeah. Get epileptic with it. Now, believe me, absolutely elated because I've been trying to get this interview done for a number of weeks now. I'm a big fan, so I tell you what, let's enjoy Ain't Nobody Ever Gonna Love You here at Galaxy. Here's Jason Cole. So that gives us a couple of minutes to get to know each other, Jason.
Awesome.
And Boaz, Alabama. I love Alabama. I've been there a couple of times. I've been through Alabama a couple of times.
Wow. Awesome.
I actually caught up with a guy who was a wrestler there.
Is that right? Like Hulk Hogan style professional wrestling? Yeah.
Yeah. He invented a move called the Alabama Slammer.
I know that. Yeah, I know about that. But honestly, I didn't really get into the professional wrestling. I like boxing, and then I do like I like MMA, but like the pro wrestling, I didn't really get into it. But I know a lot of the main characters, guys that wrestled, but yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I know that Alabama Slammer, though. I do know that. That's funny.
I was lucky enough to be able to meet him and a couple of members of his family, so I felt very humbled at the time. Boxing, I was brought up boxing. My father had a boxing ring out our backyard as a young...
There you go.
I mean, we were, 8 years of age, and then suddenly we got this boxing ring, and my brothers and I, we were brought up literally boxing. We really, really were, so... you got to respect that sport.
I never did it like competitively, but we used to, my daddy would take a garden hose and just make a square. So there's no ropes, it's just the borders, and let us put the gloves on, duke it out a little bit, but it was just like brothers, friends, whatever, but yeah.
Believe me, bro, we had one set up all summer, every summer. And know, we didn't end up being professional boxers, none of the three brothers, but not a single kid in town would come anywhere near us.
Is that why you wear that big beard to help the cushion the blows? Some people grow the beard.
Well, I was always taught never be there when the hit comes. Get the hell out of the way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of does. Got to say hi to Chris Andreas, who's joining us right now. Lee Thompson also. That guy, CC Critter, you got to be careful with that guy. And his brother as well. Stephen John Ireland is joining us. And Marion Pedersen. Nice to have everybody on board. It really is. Let's go to the desk.
Don't forget to turn the mic on.
Don't forget to turn the mic on. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today absolutely elated because we're meeting sensation in his own right, Jason Cole. Welcome to Galaxy, Jason.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm glad to finally meet you guys face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've had a couple of shots at it. I think, sound problems your side, health problems my side, and finally we're going to get this one done. And believe me, I'm a big fan of your work. I've been an engineer now for almost about 47 years. I'm sort of dating myself, I've got to be honest with you. And I've worked with some of the biggest bands, some of the best bands in the world, some of the best recording studios in the world, not only as front of house, but as studio engineer. And from time to time, because I deal with bands, I listen to bands, I talk to artists every day. From time to time, there's a band that comes along or an artist that comes along that just encapsulates your imagination. And Jason, that's what I got from you.
I really appreciate that, and I'm more of a word man than anything. Now I always tell everybody, I'm sure to tell folks, because I think it's good advice as well for anybody that's out here writing songs, playing music. You should always recognize your limitations, right? Is what I always say. So I'm limited musically as far as playing instruments, guitar, etc. So I get my songs produced up by guys that are world class, and so that's part of the allure of my songs for sure, but that's a smart thing to do. If you can't quite get it at that level, you need to step aside and let somebody else do it. But I write my songs and I perform them, I sing them. I'm the vocalist on all of my tracks, but yeah.
I'm absolutely fascinated. I really, really am. Ain't nobody ever going to love you. Give me the skinny on this. How did you come to the lyrics on this one?
That is my ode to my current wife, actually. And I sat down to write a few songs on a couple different kind of paths, and then I kind of settled in an old school blues kind of groove there on that one, and it just kind of stuck. And it was one of those, you hear sometimes people say, well, we wrote the song in 15 minutes. They like, pour some sugar on me, Def Leppard, 15 minutes. Well, it wasn't 15, but I probably had that carved out in like 45 minutes. But it's 3 verses, and a little bit of tag on the back end or whatever. But yeah, we've really enjoyed it. She loves it, of course, and you got to do that one for your better half,
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I think I've grown points because I've opened up the show with that. So you win, and you will get a copy of everything we do today. You'll be able to show us that.
Right.
Louis Noyes is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Louis. Of course, guitarist for the very famous Chris Andreas, coming out of Vancouver Island, whom we just had a chat with earlier on this morning. Bo Gregory is joining us as well. Nice to have you on board, Bo. Now, Jason, how long have you been playing a guitar for?
About 30 years. I didn't pick it up until I was in my early 20s, and so I just, I had it was actually my brother-in-law's brother, my sister's husband's brother. So he had a guitar, just a flat top, acoustic. He brought around, and he was playing some different, really country things from maybe mid-70s on or so in that range, and stuff I liked. And so he basically showed me about 3 chords and a couple of rhythms on that, and I didn't have a guitar yet. He let me pick around on his a little bit, mess around while when he was visiting, and then I went and got my own after he left, and then I just, you know how it is. I sat there for 6 months banging around until I finally got something going, and so that's it. That was it, and I've been playing ever since.
Well, I got to be honest with you. As I said, I've been an engineer for some years, and yep, it shows that you've been playing for a number of years. But I usually say to somebody about that age, you know, that are going into about 30, 40 years, still learning. Every day. Every day.
And I'm still limited, and I freely admit that, like I say, and I don't say that I'm this kind of player, or that I always say I'm just an old banger is what I like to say. Just kind of carve it out as best I can and just roll with it, you know.
Well, believe me, it's been a long time since I've played my guitar. I've got to be very honest with you. In fact, it's sitting just over here in the corner, and it hasn't been picked up in, about 3 years now, Barbara?
It's gathering dust.
It's gathering dust, she reckons. It really is. But yeah, it's been a while. It really has. My life. Now, believe me, my friend, this one's getting about 1,251 requests since we've started playing it. So, just wondering, give me the meaning of my life.
Well, that's an interesting song because it's kind of the most personal, you know, lyrically that I kind of ran through. I kind of ran the gamut from some of my ups and downs, you know, romantically, spiritually, and even into the kind of substance abuse problems that I had at one point, and I kind of melded all that together somehow and come out on the other end with something just kind of with the thrust of it being gratitude for just, you know, enjoying my life and being grateful for my life and how it turned out, even though there's ups and downs in all our lives, you know.
You know, I fully understand that. You're right here at galaxy107fm. Please excuse me. Jason Cole is joining us, coming out of Boaz, Alabama. Here's My Life. How you feeling, Jason? You okay?
Okay, you think it's coming off all right?
Yeah, absolutely. I see Michael Zdanowitz coming out of Galaxy Class Entertainments is joining us. Of course, he's in Orlando, Florida right now. Land of Disney, I think it is. Jason, are you a guy that likes to think outside the box?
Somewhat. I guess it kind of depends. Are we talking like musically or?
Believe me, we could. If I ask that question, it could be anything. It really could be.
Somewhat, yeah, somewhat.
Okay, well, here's one to think about. Imagine if your knees bent in the opposite direction as to what they do now.
Right.
Could you imagine how interesting chairs would be?
How dramatic. Chairs? Yeah. How interesting chairs would be. That's right. I can actually, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's funny though, because I saw somebody the other day that had cramps so bad on the internet. They had cramps so bad that it was almost like their leg or knees were inverted like that or something. That was the worst case I ever saw. Leg cramps.
Electrolytes. Drink electrolytes.
Right, exactly. They needed a bunch of Gatorade, exactly.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. That deal with Trumpy yesterday, that was a bit of a deal, wasn't it?
Trump? Oh, yeah, that was, I've paid close attention to that over the last day or so, and yeah, it was very, kind of shocking and tragic, and people lost their life in the crowd, and
that is absolutely the worst way to get an earpiece.
Others injured, and then Trump Trump himself was injured, of course. It's bad situation.
That's the worst way to get an ear piercing.
Oh my gosh! Are you kidding? And if he would have turned just slightly, or if he hadn't have turned slightly right before it came, I've seen all that where it would, I guess it would have probably hit him about right in the temple. So, thank God he turned, and you know.
Believe me, the media.
Thank God he survived, but unfortunately other people didn't survive.
Exactly. But I tell you what, the media's just blowing up with this, right down to some really funny things about. I mean, do you remember the Matrix? Now here's Trumpy doing the Matrix. You know.
I saw that. I saw a meme. Somebody put it on Facebook, where he was dodging the bullet. Yeah, it's almost like that with him though, because he's an impressive, guy. He's an impressive American. Love him or hate him, he's a tough guy and he's impressive. Yeah,
he certainly is. I tell you what, I saw one meme this morning where it had Alec Baldwin going, "I wouldn't have missed."
Yeah, right.
Of course, they dropped the charges against Alec Baldwin yesterday, didn't they?
I saw that as well. Yeah, they dropped the charges, and he fell out pretty much in tears or whatever as soon as the judge, threw it in.
Yeah, believe me, it wasn't his fault. He was just doing his job as an actor. He had no idea, So, that is true justice. Well done. And nice to see true justice done. Dear. Our Hope Remains is the next one up.
Okay.
Okay? Cool.
Sounds good.
That's right, you're right here at galaxy107fm, and I've got it right twice in a row. Gosh, I'm on a roll. I really am. Normally I forget to turn the mic on, right? Yeah. 17 away from 12 o'clock, it is 10.3 degrees. Downtown gonna rain today. It really is time to get the umbrellas out. Just having them on standby, right? It is Monday, start of a new working week, 15th of July, and today we're talking to Jason Cole coming out of Boaz, Alabama. And Jason, you've been an Alabamian for all of your life, literally. Have you ever considered maybe going on a nation tour?
Actually, no, which this is neither here nor there, sort of, but I was born and raised in Alabama largely, but I did move to the state of Georgia for about 18 years in my adult life. I was about 22. I moved over there and stayed there until I was about 40 years old, and then I moved back home here in Alabama. This was always home, but I am not set up to tour, to have a touring band. I am the basic blueprint of what I've been doing, and I've really been on this path for about close to 3 years now. I've been writing songs, pitching songs up to major artists. I've been pitching songs which I'm the performer on, like all these tracks that you're playing of mine now. Once I've released them, those songs I've also pitched for sync deals, sync licensing, film, TV, etc. And I've been fortunate enough to have about 8 or 9 sync licensing deals so far. I've got another straight publishing deal for one song, a one-song deal on that. And so it's I kind of say I'm a studio artist. I'm a songwriter first. I'm kind of pitching songs. I'm also releasing a song here and there. I'm pitching for single licensing deals, trying to get into film and TV. And I just don't have a band, a touring band. I'm not set up for that. So I produce my tracks up with really good players and professional producer, and go from there. But I'm not I have not been touring, and I'm not planning to.
Now, Jason, I got to ask you. Patricia, coming out of Tennessee, is asking, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? What's your links, and how do we get hold of your music, let alone do you have a merch store?
Absolutely. Well, you can start at jasoncolesongs.com. That's my main website, and you can piggyback from there and hit all of my social media links. But yes, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of them, everything that's out there. As far as all major social media I'm on. YouTube, I forgot YouTube, yeah. And so just jasoncolesongs.com is the best starting point, though.
Now, Helen, coming out of Ontario, is asking, okay, got that. Do you respond if a fan gets in touch with you?
Yes, I absolutely do. I had a kid, I think he was a teenager, but he had contacted me recently from the state of Texas here in the U.S., and he just wanted just a basic autograph picture, so I sent him just an autograph picture, But yeah, I'll definitely respond to anybody and try to, send an autograph or whatever they may want, or I'll just respond just in kind, just to talk with them. That's fine with me. I try to, and believe me, I'm not Elvis, so I'm not getting bombarded with requests and all this constantly. But yeah, I have people reach out time to time, and I'm happy to get back and forth with anybody that's a quote unquote fan.
Well, Jason, let me tell you about being an Elvis, all right?
Yeah.
I see here you've been interviewed by stations around the world like Gateway 97.8, South Essex. Well, here at Galaxy, we're in every English-speaking country in the world, and some that aren't. And I don't know how that works, but I'll take it anyway. I think it's because we have English-speaking people in every country in the world. And believe me, we have a following that is just phenomenal. Really do.
That's great.
I will give you those numbers at the end of this. Believe me, no use giving them to you now. It's still going up. Okay? But believe me, since we've been playing you, and believe me, we've been playing you for a good, number of weeks now, you have gathered quite the following. Now, here at Galaxy, we don't call our fans or an army or anything like that. We actually call them the noise, simply because they make a noise. They get in touch with us and tell us what artist, what track they like the most, and they're not shy about it. They're really not.
Right.
I see your name, Jason, every morning, ready to go on the breakfast show. It is. You are that popular with our noise from around the world. Believe me,
I appreciate that.
I think you're getting quite the fan base. I really, really do. And hopefully, with people watching this, they'll be able to get in touch with you and relay that fan base to you personally. You know what I mean?
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the exposure, and I'm all for it, and I appreciate everybody that listens, streams, downloads, or whatever the case may be. Any of my songs at any time, it's I don't take it for granted. I mean, there's a lot of music out there, you know what I mean? So I understand it's hard to kind of rein people in. There's a lot of really great music. I mean, especially when you're digging back in the past and all of modern music. But even if you're just looking at what's being released, it's what is it? Spotify, I forget how many tracks per day is uploaded now. It's insane how many tracks per day. It's crazy, like 1 million or something like that.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, I do want to have a chat to you once we've finished this about hooking you up with a little bit more promotions than what we do, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So I'll talk to you about that once we've finished this. You'll also get a copy of what we do today, and believe me, when we're finished, we'll take some photos. Barbara will put this into a movie. You'll get a copy of it all together. Just wondering though, have you ever been a cartoon before?
Cartoon? I don't think I've ever done one of those. I might have done an avatar online, but that's it. But I don't think I've ever done like a full out, caricature or cartoon.
Believe me, Barbara will turn some of these photos into cartoons. Believe me, she does it to me all the time. You know what I mean? She really does. Glenn Stillstone is back. Nice to have you back again, my friend. So I want to talk to you about Our Hope Remains.
Okay.
Tell me about this.
That song is a contemporary Christian tune that I wrote, and I was actually had a conversation and a kind of a slight dive into a verse. What became the first verse of Our Hope Remains, it was with another songwriter, but he kind of broke off of it and was kind of got bored of it or whatever and didn't really know where to go with it, right? So I wind up going back to it and I do the full song. Well, really, I mean, his contribution was more or less of simple chord progression, like 4 chords, and I wound up changing the key even. But I went back to this gentleman and said, "Hey, man, we started off with this, and I'm cool with giving you 50% anyway on the back end. You know what I mean?" And he told me, "No way, man, that's yours. All I did was a little chord progression, and I quit on it, so you go for it." And so the only reason I tell that is because that's the way I try to treat people if I'm co-writing and I want to be treated, and that's the way people ought to treat one another. It's like, no matter what, even if you've got a little smidgen, just give it up to whoever's in the room, whoever might have started on the idea. But he was, generous guy himself and just says, "Well, man, I kind of backed out on that, so I don't want a piece of that at all." But so anyway, I wound up finishing it, and I was proud of it as a contemporary Christian song. I am a Christian, obviously, and so I kind of wanted to start writing more of that in the last year or so, and I kind of carved that out, and was one that I'm proud of.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Jason. 1,313 requests since we've been playing it. I think it's getting there. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
Here at Galaxy is Jason Cole joining us live with Our Hope Remains. So you guys are in the summertime right now.
Yeah, we are, and it's very hot. I didn't realize that y'all played like tracks off of YouTube like that or something. I didn't even realize that. I thought it would be the straight produced, the fully produced songs is what I expected you had here, but it's fine. I didn't know.
I don't know where production gets them from. I think Barbara might have an idea from time to time, but I really don't have a clue where those boys get your music from. I really don't. I just get the good stuff. I get to talk to you. And I get to play it on the radio.
Yeah, it is. You were saying it's summer. Yeah, it's hot over here. What's the weather over there?
Raining.
52 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is raining now.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you. See, Barbara, a week out I told you it was going to rain on Monday.
Yeah,
I
good for
know
you.
this area. I do.
I'm a farmer, so I like it.
I'm a prediction.
Well, y'all are really. I mean, y'all maybe. I guess you could say winter. I would call that winter, but
Yeah, it definitely winter. It really is.
Right.
How many countries are tuned in?
162.
162 countries tuned in right now, bro.
Great. That's wonderful.
Okay. Have
Yeah, no doubt about it.
729.
67.
How long have y'all been doing this?
10 years now.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah, we're only beginning.
Because I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're only beginning, really. 10 years?
Right. You just getting started.
Yeah.
Right.
Believe me. And I'm going to tell you a story after we finish this, working with what I want to talk to you about, okay?
Okay.
That's right, I've forgotten to do it.
Oh,
Finally, in a show, I forget to turn the mic on. That is fantastic. I haven't let anybody down. I see Wayne Springer's watching. Nice to have you on board, Wayne. Welcome to Galaxy. And Jody Medford. Hello, buddy. Looking forward to catching up with you. And believe me, I want to have a chat to you about what you did down the South Island while you were down there. Bit of fishing, right? Brilliant. Nice. And kia ora katoa to you, bro. Really. Now, Jason, we do have to move on very, very quickly because we've got other things that we want to talk to you about once we wrap this up. So please don't go anywhere. And I really, really appreciate your time. I really, really do. And I thank you very, very much for taking the time to talk to us here in New Zealand. We are absolutely elated to have you. Big fan, as I said. I've been an engineer for many, many years, and I found in you that I wanted to know more about your music, everything like that. And, well, basically, I just can't find the words. To be honest with you. Good. That's a good segue, I think. But having said that, you see, and I've got to thank you for your voice drop, because we play your voice drop quite a bit. That helps people, our listeners, to be able to identify who you are and to be able to ask for your music. You know what I mean? Now,
Right.
having found over the years now that we've been putting voice drops over top of the intros of your music to make a solid intro and play that to our audience, and believe me, these guys are not too bad. They're pretty good at what they do. They've had a bit of practice over the years. Believe me, I've made sure of that. I've been teaching them pretty much everything I know, but not everything, as you do.
Right.
But they've got the clue now, and they're in full swing of it. We've noticed that if you play the song without the intro now, people will love it. But if you play the song with the intro on it, people know who you are and love it that much more. Therefore, they're asking for it so much more. And believe me, can't find the words. 1,499 requests since we've been playing it, my bro. This has gone up. But the original one without your voiceover is only sitting at 1,150.
Right.
You can see how it works now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I got to thank you for passing that voice over to us, and I hope you enjoy what we did with your music. I really, really do, because believe me, we do it for the best of the artist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So tell me about Can't Find the Words. Believe me, it doesn't happen to me often.
It's what now? I'm sorry.
I said, tell me about Can't Find the Words. Believe me, it doesn't happen to me often.
Oh, Yeah, you can't. That doesn't happen to you often that you can't find the words. I got you. I'm sorry, but yeah. Honestly, it doesn't happen to me that often either. Now that you say that, and I guess you can kind of tell by this interview. I mean, I'm no stranger to talking and babbling, but it's another story sometimes if you're pinned up in emotionally somehow and you don't really know how to approach it and get the words out. And so that's where that song, obviously, the catalyst for it came from. And it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty self-evident what I'm talking about through the song. My songs aren't very abstract, anyway, they're fairly straightforward, but.
Well, I tell you, Jason, believe me, I'm absolutely loving this track. It was the first track that I heard, and it was the one that, because believe me, I hear the music and make the decision of whether or not I want to do the interview, you know what I mean? So,
right.
The music, and the way I get the music, I don't get the artist and or the title, I just get the music, no information. And that is what bases the decision on whether I'm going to do the interview or not. But I get about everything at once, so I know that I'm going to be doing maybe 4 or 5 tracks. So let's weigh it up, see if whether the merits work for the artist or whether they don't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And believe me,
I really appreciate it. So that's your favorite track of mine so far, and I appreciate you, and
it really is.
Appreciate all you do. I appreciate all the spins for sure, brother.
Well, I tell you what, if you haven't heard what we've done to it, I'll give you a 30-second playback right after this. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jason Cole. Can't find the words. Listen to this, Jason. And that is what bases the decision on whether I'm going to do the interview or not. But I get about everything at once, so I know that I'm going to be doing maybe 4 or 5 tracks. So let's weigh it up, see if whether the merits work for the artist or whether they don't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And believe me,
I really appreciate it. So that's your favorite track of mine so far, and I appreciate you, and
it really is.
Appreciate all you do. I appreciate all the spins for sure, brother.
Well, I tell you what, if you haven't heard what we've done to it, I'll give you a 30-second playback right after this. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jason Cole. Can't find the words.
Hey, this is Jason Cole, singer-songwriter from Boaz, Alabama, and you're listening to Galaxy 107 FM.
Galaxy FM. I want to get past your eyes, try and find what's in your mind.
Yes, that sounds good, except for when I'm hearing the playback of me on the interview, I always think I sound like a dork or whatever.
I thought I was the dork. Come on. Give me the break here.
Hi, Don.
I got to be honest. Oh, Don Allen's joining us. I got to be honest with you, Jason. I hate the sound of my own voice.
Right.
I really do.
Everybody's kind of got that going somewhat, but I think more than my voice, I'm more just whatever I'm saying and the ideas I'm spitting out, I'm just like, shut up, dork.
Oh, Franco Nanucci's joining us as well. Nice to have you on board, Franco. It really, really is. Welcome back, brother mate. When I go on stage, I like the sound of the speakers that are leaving. That sound of my voice I can deal with. On the radio, and believe me, I have people going, and this is weird, you got a sexy voice, and I'm going, seriously? I had a lady in Switzerland that said that to me the other morning, and I'm sitting there just absolutely cracking up. But I was in India in November last year, and I was doing a show in India, and I went out for a cigarette because I smoked, right? I went out for a cigarette, and I got surrounded by about 13, 14 of these young men, and I thought, well, it's all on now. I might be able to take 2 or 3 of these, but I'm going to get a hiding, right? Because that's what it looked like to me at the first, you know. And this one little man steps out from between this wall of Indian men, right? And he looks at me and goes,
Yeah.
"You've got a sexy voice." Truly happened. It truly happened. All I could do was, I almost wet myself laughing. I really did.
Yeah, you're getting ready to fight, and then they just wanted to tell you about your sexy voice. That's hilarious.
That's right, I forgot.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, okay, maybe it was because I have a sexy voice that has taken my mind off things. Just talking to Jason Cole about what happened while I was in India, and believe me, it really did happen. Jason, this does bring us to the end of the interview, but I've got just a couple more questions for you. First one is, anything in the can? You got anything coming out in the near future?
Well, I've always got songs on the shelf, as I like to say, because of that kind of blueprint I'm working with. I'll have songs on the shelf, pitching them up to other artists, pitching for sync deals and such as that for a while. So yeah, I've got some stuff on the shelf. I went into the studio recently, and I'll go ahead and drop that right here. But I don't have my release schedule of what the songs that I release with myself as the artist. I don't have an exact schedule, but I'm just pushing out 2 to 3 a year is what it works out to be. And so I'm not extremely prolific in that sense, but I don't want to be either. I want a couple, 3 songs a year release is great to me. So, but I have went in the studio recently, and I do have a fully produced version of Our Hope Remains now on the shelf.
Now,
So
how would you like to send me that copy as well? I'd love to be able to add it. But moreover, it sounds like maybe, just maybe, if you're really, really good to me, you'll send me all your new work and come back for another interview. Would you do that?
Well, I'll be honest with you. You and I can talk about on which ones I might be able to shoot over to you, but until I release, generally don't share it. But I don't have any problem with sending Our Hope Remains to you, though, because it's fine, because it's more for pitching for sync. I don't really have any Christian artist kind of lanes to pitch to right now, anyway.
Yeah, no,
But we could send you that one. I definitely would send you that one.
very, very happy to hear that. But we would love to be able to form a relationship where, within the rules, of course, when you're comfortable, please send us more new music.
Yeah.
And we would love to continue to promote
Absolutely.
Jason Cole here at Galaxy. Would you mind if we did that?
Yes, sir. No, I wouldn't mind at all. I really appreciate it. And no, it sounds like a plan to me.
Awesome, awesome. Anyway, my friend, hang in there, because we're going to take a couple of pickies now. Some of the staff are going to rush the monitors and take a few snappies. But in the meantime, join us tomorrow morning, Barbara and myself, on The Breakfast Show between, 10 past 5. She reckons about 5:30. I make the first cuppa, and 10 o'clock in the morning. We'd love to have you company. Really, really would. In the meantime, from me, it's Happy Radio, everyone. Have a very happy and successful day. See you in the morning.